The global caviar market is expected to grow significantly between 2023 and 2030. Crafting its production involves meticulous techniques, including careful breeding and harvesting. Caviar, made from salt-cured fish roe, particularly harvested from sturgeon species like beluga, osetra, and sevruga, is renowned as the world's most expensive food. Moreover, caviar sourced from various fish types, including salmon, trout, and paddlefish, yields a spectrum of roe colors determined by the fish species. Traditionally, black caviar sourced from sturgeon species reigns as the most coveted variety, primarily originating from nations surrounding the Caspian Sea, such as Russia, Iran, and Azerbaijan. This geographical region plays a pivotal role in global caviar production, balancing the demands of conservation and regulatory intricacies. Nevertheless, countries such as the United States, France, and Italy have also embraced sustainable aquaculture techniques to produce caviar, presenting a variety of flavors and hues to satisfy diverse preferences. Given its scarcity and the laborious methods involved in its creation, caviar maintains a reputation for luxury and opulence. Workers undertake various tasks within the water, from inspecting infrastructure and monitoring water quality to maintaining nets and assisting with fish handling. Throughout the production cycle, facilities meticulously uphold standards to ensure the well-being of both the sturgeon and the surrounding environment. Primarily, water quality remains a focal point, meticulously monitored and regulated to facilitate sturgeon growth and reproduction. Sophisticated filtration systems are commonly deployed to eliminate waste and uphold pristine water conditions. Feeding protocols are meticulously managed to furnish sturgeon with a well-rounded diet while mitigating ecological impact. Consistent health assessments of sturgeon aid in averting disease outbreaks, thereby minimizing the necessity for antibiotics or other treatments. Once sturgeons mature in the harvesting tanks, skilled workers delicately handle the task of preparing them for caviar extraction. Employing precise techniques, they transfer the mature sturgeon to the washing area, where water sprays and specialized systems ensure thorough cleansing of the fish's outer surface, eliminating impurities. Subsequently, workers adeptly open the sturgeons, extracting the precious black roe containing the caviar with care. This meticulous process demands precision to maintain the integrity of the roe. The extracted roe is then gathered and placed into baskets, prepared for internal washing. This critical step involves further purification of the roe, removing any remaining impurities and excess salt to uphold the caviar's highest quality. Following the extraction, the roe undergoes pressing or sieving, passing through a plain shredder or metallic web to separate individual eggs and disperse any clusters. highly trained technicians rigorously examine the caviar grains, using magnifying glasses to assess size, color, and uniformity. Precision is maintained with lab tweezers handling individual grains, allowing technicians to detect any irregularities. Microscopes may also be employed to scrutinize the caviar at a microscopic level, ensuring it meets stringent quality standards. Technicians meticulously inspect each batch for damage, contamination, or inconsistency, guaranteeing top-tier quality. Within these aquaculture facilities, the breeding process is integrated into production. Roe is mixed with milt from male sturgeon in a lab, sometimes using feathers to evenly distribute the milt among the roe. Feather agitation ensures uniform dispersion, allowing all roe to come into contact with the milt. Sturgeons are then moved to larger tanks or ponds as they mature, reaching the ideal size for caviar production. To enhance flavor and preserve quality, salt is meticulously incorporated into the caviar. This addition serves to extract excess moisture, thwart bacterial growth, and prolong shelf life. Achieving the desired taste and texture hinges on the precise quantity of salt, typically determined by weight. The appropriate ratio varies, influenced by personal preference, sturgeon species, and traditional methods. A common guideline suggests adding around 3 to 4% of salt by weight. Seasoned caviar producers rely on expertise and sensory assessment to fine-tune the salt content for optimal flavor. Once salted, the caviar is carefully packed into round containers, typically crafted from metal or plastic. These containers are purpose-built to safeguard the caviar, shielding it from external impurities while preserving freshness. Layering the caviar within the containers is done with gentle precision to prevent excessive compression, safeguarding the delicate eggs. Subsequently, the containers are hermetically sealed for airtight storage and often labeled with pertinent details such as caviar grade, production date, and producer information. Various fish species besides sturgeon can yield roe suitable for caviar production, including salmon, trout, and paddlefish. However, the color of the roe from these fish often differs from traditional black caviar. Salmon roe, also called red caviar, boasts a vibrant orange-red hue, while trout roe spans from pale orange to deep red. Another vital step in caviar production is pasteurization, wherein the caviar undergoes gentle heating to eliminate potential bacteria while preserving its delicate texture and flavor. This process extends the caviar's shelf life and ensures its safety for consumption. Occasionally, producers may introduce natural black colorants to the roe to achieve a darker shade akin to traditional black caviar, primarily for aesthetic appeal, as black caviar symbolizes luxury. Carefully incorporating natural black colorants like squid ink or activated charcoal ensures the caviar's flavor and quality remain uncompromised, catering to consumers' preferences for black caviar's appearance. Premium caviar often comes in exquisite packaging, such as ornate jars or sleek tins, enhancing its allure and emphasizing its status as a luxury delicacy. Stored under controlled conditions like refrigeration, the caviar maintains its quality until it reaches consumers worldwide, who savor it as a symbol of luxury and indulgence. Producing spirulina on a large scale typically involves several phases. These include cultivation, harvesting, and processing, all conducted within specialized facilities engineered to maximize growth and yield. Spirulina cultivation generally occurs in controlled environments, like open ponds or closed photobioreactors. Open ponds are shallow artificial bodies of water where spirulina grows under regulated conditions of temperature, pH, and nutrient levels. Alternatively, closed photobioreactors offer a more controlled setting, shielding the spirulina culture from external contaminants and allowing precise regulation of environmental factors like light, temperature, and nutrient concentrations. These systems often employ LED lighting to optimize the photosynthesis process. The cultivation process begins by inoculating the culture medium with a starter culture of spirulina. This culture contains the desired strain of spirulina and serves as the foundation for growth under favorable conditions. Spirulina cells rapidly multiply through photosynthesis, utilizing carbon dioxide, sunlight, and nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and trace minerals present in the culture medium. Once the spirulina culture reaches a specific density, often indicated by the water's dark green or blue-green hue, it's deemed ripe for harvesting. Methods for harvesting vary depending on the cultivation system employed. In open ponds, filtration systems or centrifugation are commonly used to separate the biomass from the culture medium. Conversely, in closed photobioreactors, harvesting may entail filtration or centrifugation directly within the reactor. Following harvesting, the spirulina biomass undergoes concentration into a paste or slurry. This paste, comprising spirulina and water, is filtered through a specialized cloth with minuscule perforations. These perforations allow water to pass through while retaining the spirulina. A worker continuously sweeps the cloth with a spatula, applying gentle pressure to enhance water removal while ensuring maximum spirulina retention. The spirulina paste continues to consolidate until reaching a solid state. The sweeping process is iterated, after which the paste is transferred to a bucket using the spatula. Various methods are employed to dehydrate spirulina, each with its own advantages. One common technique involves spreading the spirulina paste onto large tables, exploiting the extensive surface area to accelerate water loss and hasten drying. However, an alternative approach utilizes pressure to expel moisture. Here, the spirulina is contained within permeable bags that enable water to escape while retaining the spirulina. These bags are then subjected to high pressure, facilitating water expulsion and yielding dehydrated spirulina within. Once every trace of water has been extracted, the paste transforms into a solid, brittle slab. Yet, residual moisture trapped within the spirulina necessitates further processing. The slab is fragmented into smaller pieces, which are subsequently fed into a cylindrical apparatus. Here, pressure is applied to reshape the spirulina into noodle-like fragments, significantly increasing its surface area and facilitating subsequent drying. The spirulina noodles are then distributed across multiple trays to undergo thorough drying. Additional temperature control measures or specialized machinery may be employed to ensure uniform drying of the spirulina. Upon completion of this process, the spirulina noodles attain a solid consistency. Behold the finished product, spirulina, brimming with antioxidants and essential minerals, emerges triumphant after an arduous journey of dehydration. The noodle-like dried spirulina undergoes manual fragmentation into smaller pieces, a labor-intensive task. Some manufacturers opt to further process it into tablets for enhanced convenience, achieved through high-pressure compression using specialized machinery. Alternatively, for those preferring granules, manufacturers offer spirulina in this form as well. As the global demand for spirulina escalates, countless companies worldwide are ramping up production efforts, collectively churning out an astonishing 3,000 tons annually. If you're keen to explore the captivating intricacies of these production lines and gain deeper insights into their operational mechanisms, join us for our upcoming videos.